Now, you've come home from a long day at work, or you're finally off baby duty for the day, and you're wanting to get into a game of Madden Ultimate Team, and the first formation you face is gun bunch or even gun tight offset tight end. This is where the Madden Mastermind Discord server comes into play. You guys get access to defensive ebooks that break it down play by play. There's going to be a video pinned in the comment section explaining all the other benefits that come with it, and for $9.95 per month, you get access to that as well. If you want to get $39.95 per month, get access to monthly coaching in the Discord server. Those two links are going to be in the description, and let's get into this breakdown. So here we go. This is Bobby versus Noah up next. Now, I got the screen right here. Going to be breaking it down for you guys. Talk about his adjustments on defense mostly. We're going to talk a little bit about offense, but mostly how he likes to run this curve 4 quarters against the Washington playbook. Now, as we get into this video, I'll be breaking down how you can identify West Coast, Pittsburgh, and Washington, because those are the popular 3 bunches you may run into. Now, there's some exceptions to this, such as Detroit. Detroit has some similar formations between Washington and itself with bunch, and I believe they have mesh post, they have gun tight, but there's one big key to the Washington bunch, and that is clear out FLN. When we are facing bunch, we have to identify what bunch we're facing. Are we facing Steelers? If they have Steelers cross, you know it's Steelers cross. If they have deep attack, you know it's West Coast. If they have clear out FLN, you know it's Washington. So right here, he's starting off with a good old-fashioned bunch against cover 4 quarters. Now, one thing you'll note is that Bobby does not like to send a blitz very often whatsoever. Now, at cover 4 quarters, you have a deep zone here, a deep zone here, a deep zone here, which you can see right there, that's his user. And then you have a deep zone right there. This isn't exactly to scale. And then this guy is going to be into a quarter flat. This guy is going to be into a 3 receiver hook. And then this nickel corner, hence nickel, is going to be in a quarter flat as well. So this is essentially what our cover 4 quarters is going ahead and look like. So let's go ahead, play through. This should go ahead and disappear here shortly. And he's right there. He plays, for the most part, a stock cover 4 quarters. Now, you may be thinking, okay, well, what's so special about that? First, cover 4 quarters, what's unique about it is if, let's say, they take this guy right here and they're to go ahead and press him. So if they, come on, work with me here. So if they're to go ahead and press him, as you see right here, he's pressing him. When they press him, this guy, regardless, this interaction right here, he's going to play man-to-man regardless. And what we're going to referred to as MEG, meaning man everywhere, and insert he or they go. So in this case, regardless, this receiver runs a drag route, or if he runs a dig route, or if he runs a skinny post, whatever it may be, this guy is going to play man-to-man every single time. That is, unless he quick adjusts him into a third or a flat of some variety. So right here, you can see he goes ahead. Now, oops, went a little too far back. Just a little too far back. Mind you, I'm trying to figure out how to work this little thing I got from Kim 110 back in college. So, we went just a little too far ahead. Let's go back just a little bit. This is something that's really important right here as well. I'm going to let this play just a little bit longer. It's when we have 4 receivers to one side of the field. We have 1, 2, 3, and then number 4 right here. Match defense gets overruled, meaning match is no longer match at all. It will no longer match because you have 4 receivers to side of field, and that's why he's utilizing this motion to negate match, because match can be tough to beat if you don't have the route combinations to set it. And he's not one to show clear out off lane. He's not one to show the ace up his sleeve quite yet. Like, he basically just smoked match defense. But essentially what's going to happen is when they play match, you notice how this guy right here, he's going to play a drop, this guy's going to play a drop, and then this quarter flat is just going to play like our basic old curl flat. And so it's going to play a drop style instead of a match style of defense. So let's go ahead and make this play work. So again, he's playing press curve 4 quarters. So press curve 4 quarters as well. One thing you have to understand is when you're playing press curve 4 quarters, both this guy and, as we were just talking about, this guy, they're going to play man-to-man every single time, no matter what you do. The only exception to this is if you have a third or some sort of flat out there, in which case he'll no longer play a man-match style of defense. So right here, it goes into gun tight, and he's going to check into something else. What he's going to check into is a cover 6. So cover 6 is nickel over. Cover 9, cover 6, you have all the match family and big nickel. But cover 6, you have quarter, You have this guy in a quarter. You have this guy in a quarter flat. Believe this guy is in a 3 receiver hook. This guy is in a vert hook. Deep half, so we're just gonna make this big for him. And then this guy, depending on what cover 6 you call, if it's the base cover 6 I think he's gonna be in a cloud flat instead of a soft squat. There are cover 2s or cover 6s that have them as soft squats, but again, you can quick adjust and do that with it. Now, one thing you have to understand with this particular cover 6, I'm gonna let this play out just a little bit to get these kind of things to clear up, is if they go ahead and run this quick snap play, this guy right here, this fade route, I don't know what you can go inside wheel route I was gonna call it. This is a match beater. He just blocked his running back in this play. I think it's called PA cross, beats match, basically just quick snap. And right there you can see that little double post flag move is gonna go ahead and smoke man to man as well. Now, if he goes back into gun tight, I want to break down one thing that's critical for us to go ahead and understand. So right here, he's going to go ahead and play just simple old gun bunch unless he audibles over to gun tight. And there's one other formation as well that's a big headache. We're going to be talking about that formation in a separate video on how you go about defending this particular audible, because it's a pain. Like for any good player, it's a pain in the butt. So again, utilizing the motion. So remember, when we utilize motion, we have 1, 2, 3, and then this guy is going to be the number 4 receiver. So we'll let it play out. So now we have 4 over here. So again, remember, match gets canceled. It's no longer going to be a match style of defense, and they're going to go ahead and play a drop coverage instead. So right here, he goes ahead and quick snaps verticals with his running back a little out route to left. You can see what I'm talking about. This time, he actually looks like he mans up this outside guy. If he did it, he might have pressed right here. We can even go back a little bit and see if he pressed. So he presses. But again, because he has 4 receivers to one side of the field, they're going to play a drop style. And a pressed quarter when it's a drop is really, really terrible. Like, it is bad. So he checks into cover 4. It actually looks like he might have put that guy into man assignment. Let's go ahead and play it. So that time he actually had him in a hard flat. So that vertical route right there, that would have been wide open. This crosser is open right here. He has to pretty much pick and choose who he's going to go ahead and guard right here. He notes that he has a flat. He accidentally, I believe, has both I think he has 2 hard flats out there. So what this induces is, because we're running gun bunch verticals, this guy's running a crossing pattern. This guy's going to run a clear out route, and it's going to clear out that quarter. This guy could potentially right here get open right about there-ish. Now, because we have 2 flats and this guy's running what was a wheel route, he is going to get open obviously right here. And you can see this Palomao, his user, has to pick between the tight end wheel or this wheel route for a touchdown. Both of these with a free form are going to be wide open. So it's a really, really dangerous situation for Bobby, and I think it was just a simple mistake of adjustments. So again, you can see what we're talking about. The crosser gets wide open. Again, just simple mistakes. So right here, he's going to audible over to bunch open tight end. Now, when we know this, we know what playbook he's in. We know he's in Washington playbook right off of the bat. Now, this formation gives match a headache. Again, it's going to be the same principle behind this. Now, he doesn't zoom out in this game, but if we were to go ahead and be able to zoom out right here, there's going to be 4 wide receivers on this side of the field right over there. So we got this number 3 over here, 3 over there, and we got our number 4 right here. So remember, when there's 4 receivers to one side of the field, match no longer works. It's going to go ahead and play a drop. And there's 2 plays we have to worry about in this bunch open tight end. The first one, he goes ahead and throws it right off the bat, is this RPO I think it's RPO zone bubble, zone alert bubble, or something like that. And what happens is, you can see how we have 3 receivers over here. We've got one guy, you're going to go ahead and either go after this guy, or he's more often going to go after the user and block one of these 2 guys. This guy is just going to go ahead and block whoever is directly in front of him, which in this case is going to be this outside corner. We got numbers on this side of the field. We got a little bubble screen going on over here, and you can right there. That's just a basic numbers game, and it's going to be very easy completion for a touchdown. So he gave a touchdown, but nonetheless, the game is just barely started. The issue with this is it was a very, very quick drive. It was 1 minute and 50 seconds, which is a very fast drive, because at this point now he is in Washington, so you can prepare for clear out FLM. But again, you just gotta always just keep that in mind. You gotta make the first drive the longest drive every single time, especially if you're trying to figure out what playbook they're in. You have to force them to use some of their best plays on the first drive, especially, so then you're prepared for it later on. So gun bunch, again, when we play press quarters, They're going to go man-to-man everywhere he goes. Now, he does not play a quarter on this side of the field in this situation. He actually plays a third. And the reason I know that is because this receiver, if we go back just a hair, this receiver is running a C route. Now, what would happen if this guy was in a quarter? He would match him the entire way and he would get beat to the outside. So the C route would actually be right open here. This isn't exactly to scale B, but it'd be open generally around there, and this guy would be beat on a high point pass. Now, because instead he goes ahead and drops back into a third, he goes ahead and plays that C route. He's expecting this C route any given time, so he goes and plays the adjustment and takes it away. You see right there. That was actually a double move. That was wrong about that. That was a double move. But again, third quarter is going to go and play that pretty darn good. He gets right there. Carmichael's just going to go and get him beat, but he has a deep out zone KO. Deep out zone KO, guys, if you're playing zone defense, this is an absolute must. You have to have 2 deep out zone KOs. There is just no exception to that rule. You've got to have them. If you're playing man, you play route kills. If you're playing zone, you got to have deep out zone kill. At the bare minimum. 1. At the very bare minimum. 1 to play this game. So, again, we going back into gun bunch. He's going to go ahead and audible over to the gun bunch tight end. Remember the rule of 4. We have 4 receivers to one side of the field. Now, this is something I'm glad he's staying out just for a little bit. This is a basic numbers game. So you remember last time Noah ran this RPO zone alert bubble. So this is just a regular inside zone. Either running back is going to get handed off, or this is going to be a bubble. And what generally happens is this guy will block him, this guy will block him, and then this guy right here will run underneath for a simple bubble screen. So it's just a simple, very, very simple RPO. If you got the numbers, you throw it. But as you can see right there, we've got 1, 2, 3 on 3. This guy is going to be coming through clean if he drops and commits all these guys to the flats. So you can see in this situation, he actually has this guy in a vert hook, which actually plays that bubble surprisingly well. Hard flat, quarter flat. But the issue leads us to this second problem. Now, we can, first, before we get to that, we see this guy's going to actually rotate it into third, and third. So this is an inverted cover 3. This guy on the quarter flat, this guy right here is actually running a fade route, and the quarter flat is not going to match what this guy was running as a corner route. So it's a very simple high-low read. This is what the read progression looks like. You look at the check down first, check down not open. This corner out, because we're running match defense as our base defense, is going to be open every single time because of the rule of 4. As you can see right there, easy dot. This is that play that gives everybody a headache. Like the reason this is such a difficult playbook to stop is because most people like to run match against bunch. If you're running zone defense, you're running match. If you're running man defense, you're running man defense. Okay, not much to say about that. But this playbook gives match a headache because you can't just adjust your zone drops from the audible over to a different formation. You can play the sticks, but if it's like 1st and 10, that corner out is still going to get over the top. By then, you have to have them basically somehow, some way, 2nd and 20, 2nd and 25, and then you can play the sticks with the flat to get to the player up top. But then you have to check down, and it just leads to a headache. So this is a very difficult playbook to go ahead and play match against. It's possible, it's just difficult. Now, in this situation, he goes 5 wide. Generally, if I see somebody motion someone over on this side of the field, I'm expecting them to go ahead and just run a streak route and then like a C route on this side. Again, just tendencies I've seen lots of players do. So that's all I'm expecting this situation is just to clear out with a C route on that side of the field. You can see, as I was talking about, it was that route combination we were looking for, clear out with a C route. Again, going into tight. Now, anytime Noah goes into tight, Bobby 100% calls cover 6 every single time, and he'll make his adjustments out of that. Like, no debate whatsoever. He will always call cover 6. As you can see right there, we see the cover 6. We see that he has the quarters on this side. Then he checks back into bunch, or this time, yep, he checks back into bunch. And he's going to go for the 1-play touchdown. I believe right here, he goes ahead and clear out. Nope, it is gun bunch verticals. I'm expecting clear out F11 literally at any given time. Any given time. Like, if I'm facing Washington, I'm like, okay, there's clear out F11 at some point. Now, again, rule of 4. We've got 4 receivers on this side of the field. Now, he's doing a little tricky thing right here. He's taking this user. He's manning himself up to the tight end. Now, in clear out F11, they almost never motion the running back over if they're running clear out F11. This is the route combination for clear out. It's something kind of like this and kind of like that, okay? The person that gets open and clear out F-Lin, especially to the wide side, is going to be this number 2 receiver right here on this little fade route. For some reason, this inside quarter, he gets confused and he goes ahead and mans himself up to the tight end, which he should do. But then this outside quarter should be playing this number 2 receiver on the outside route every single time. This quarter flat should actually be matching this corner out. And so to kind of fix that, what he's doing is he's taking Glover Quinn and he's actually manning himself up to the tight end to make match defense play correctly more often than not. Again, it doesn't always work, but it sometimes works. So right here, he runs the good old-fashioned flood. That's just a quick snap flood with a running back. Actually, interesting route combination. Running back on a streak route. Derrick Henry trying to ag somebody. Don't agree with that, but again, you can see the importance of deep out zone kill. So again, he checks over into gun bunch open tight end to get rid of the match defense, so he can either hit the little flood or he can hit the RPO zone alert bubble. Now right here, I'm expecting, yep, RPO zone alert bubble. I was actually about to say flood, I'm going to be honest. So he gets him to 1st and 10, and things are just not looking super bright right now. But nonetheless, Bobby is the biggest adjuster I can see possible. Now, that's one thing as well. When you're running match defense, especially quarters and palms, you can't just run it stock and expect it to match perfectly every single time. It has its issues. It doesn't match perfect against some plays like clear out FLM, for example. And so you have to adjust to it. And you got to know the adjustments to get these plays to shut down. Again, that's all covered over the Madden Mastermind Discord server. So, right here, at any point, literally any given time, he's going to run clear out FLN. I think he finally calls it to the short side. So, we've talked about clear out FLN. You can see there's the double move, there's the corner out, there's the fader out, there's the post route from the tight end. And right there, because he manned himself up to the tight end, it did not work. That used to be a very good way to stop it. I don't know what happened. Like just yesterday, I was trying to stop clear out Flynn with my adjustments out of big nickel. It ain't working right now. I don't know what's going on. That was last week. I was just trying it. So last week it was working. So again, we go into gun bunch open tight end. The rule of 4. Match defense isn't going to work. So right here, he commits the bubble on that side of the field. And you can see what happens when you commit to the bubble. You're going to have to respect the run. Very, very simple. 3rd and 3. And you'll find that Bobby does not blitz super heavy. Again, going back into the rule of 4, match defense doesn't match. It changes into a drop style. He's going to commit to that bubble screen outside field. You can see right there, cloud flat. I don't know how he got his cloud flat to play that far back. I guess, well, backed off. Cloud flats will play about 20 yards back, but they won't play super good towards the red zone. Again, same thing. You're going to see a consistent pattern every single time. The rule of 4, the rule of 4, the rule of 4. And right there, had Bobby not stayed on that fader out, it would have been a wide open touchdown. So again, rule of 4, rule of 4, rule of 4. We know when somebody wants to use this particular, I don't know what it is, if it's like how you break match defense in real life, but when somebody wants to use this, you know they can't beat match defense without forcing it into a drop. So right here, just quick snap mesh post. All you do for mesh post, you block your running back, you just snap the ball, and you can run that at any hash. It doesn't matter wide side, short side. It's just a very good quick snap play. So the thing about this is, I want to pause right here because you're seeing that Bobby's having to make one small adjustment right here, but it's a really, really important one, and it's a risky one at that. The reason Bobby's taking this safety and dropping him into a middle third is because he's expecting he's expecting PA cross, and so PA cross, this tight end that runs a route kind of like this, and so he's going to be wide open for a touchdown because these quarters, for some reason, again, it's just one of those broken match beaters. This inside quarter does not match to this guy like he should, because essentially what should happen right here is this guy should match to him, this guy should match to him, and the quarter flat is responsible for the running back. So this is how all should match, but it doesn't. So he takes his third, drops him in, takes his deep half, drops him into middle third, and then his user is either going to be Polamalu or whoever this guy may be and covering this outside third part of the field. He's right there. He's on Ed Reed, and luckily he got, I don't know how that, I need to know how to get my zones to pick stuff off like that. I think he might have, he didn't shade down, just somehow that 3 receiver hook just played stupid aggressive right there. So again, we're back in gun bunch. So we've seen clear Eflin once. So I don't know if he just doesn't want to call clear out Eflin very often or what. But again, rule of 4, match defense no longer matches. And here we go, clear out Eflin. Now, In this situation, that's kind of crazy to motion your running back over, because if you don't motion your running back across, it just beats match defense. So there's no reason to motion your running back over. Guys, if you're running Washington, don't do this. Don't bother motioning players over. Again, clear out F. Lynn. There's nobody open. And the only thing that's going to go open in this situation is through the corner out, because, again, it's a drop style of defense. And even if you were to play a claw flat or a soft squat backed off, soft squats have changed. As of yesterday, I don't know what they did, but soft squats no longer match that corner out like they did last week. So again, checking into cover 6 with the inside third, you can see the importance of this middle third, because this middle third this corners would give up that little fade route, but it looks like he actually called bench. Yeah, this is bench with the running back on a streak route. So when we're running a streak corner combo like we're seeing right here, something like this, that's a really terrible streak corner, but whatever. This vert hook right here, you can see this tiny defender right there is going to match his corner out the entire way. As soon as he breaks the outside, he's going to go ahead and match him. He's just late on the match. You can see right there, he gives up he gave up a dot, but it gets a lucky overthrow. So again, he's going to go back to that same exact play. In this situation, I would 100% just use the corner out, because Ed Reed just isn't getting there fast enough. Same adjustment, inside third just for PA cross, that quick snap play just so the tight end doesn't get wide open and busts his match coverage. Motions a guy out. I'm assuming now it's probably bench. I don't think it's a PA cross play. I think there's now a C route because he motioned him out, motioned him back in. No C route, out route, corner out. You can see there's the corner streak combo. And again, deep out zone. No, it wasn't even deep out zone kill. It didn't activate because it's inside the hash marks. But that's just such a weird route combination with his running back on a streak route. I don't really get why he's doing that. But right here, this is important. He's playing a prevent defense. He does not want anything getting past him deep whatsoever. Quick snap verticals, but this is why you don't do this. Okay, Madden 23, there are so many sack fumbles for 6. Yeah, it gets bad, and especially in MUT when you guys have fast defensive linemen, you can pull this off very easily. So, a little tip on offense, guys, punt the ball away in that situation. If anything, punt it out of bounds and just try and maybe sky kick it so they just drains it all the way down to 0. So just be really careful and don't do too much of stupid things in the games, because this is probably what ends up costing Noah the game right here. So again, you can see he's just gonna go and take his extra point. Very easy. I think he has focus kicker. There's 2 different kind of kickers. I don't know what it is. One's for closer, one's for farther. But again, we're going back into gun bunch. Gun bunch, you just got to prepare for clear out of Flynn. I think it's going to call verticals right here. This is what I'm thinking he's going to call. Predicting verticals. Yep. Okay, perfect. Verticals. Oh, the core flat did not match it just quite good enough. Actually, should have a vert hook right there to go ahead and match that wheel route from the tight end, so he can't just snap through that. The issue is if he motions this running back over, I want to talk about this real fast. If he motions this guy over, remember rule 4, this plays a drop. So if he had this wheel route, you could actually go ahead and just highball that wheel route for an easy quick check down. So again, it's just small things like this you have to pay attention to. He's not motioning a whole lot of his running back anymore, but you can see just quick snap verticals, and right there he has that. He might have had that crosser open, but again, that's a deep out zone KO, so it's going to knock it away every single time. So again, checking into the rule of 4, bunch open tight end, 2 plays, RPO zone alert bubble, or flood. Now he has not run wide trail yet. He runs flood again. You can see how good that corner out is against match defense. Match defense has no chance in stopping it. Check. Every single time checking into it. Now, one thing I would do in this situation, I have defense for it. I'll be teaching you guys how you can shut down this play that right there, wide trail, deep out zone kill. I'll be teaching you guys how to do it. I do have defense for this particular audible over. It's tough to stop. You got to be on the adjustments to stop it, but there are ways to go ahead and shut this down. We talked about that in a separate video. Again, he's going to go ahead and scream at him. Again, clear our alpha lin. Now, I don't know. Maybe I need to go back to practice mode today and see if it works today, because it wasn't working yesterday for me. It was working last week. But soft squats, from my experience, as of yesterday, no longer match. And right there, just beautiful defense. He hops onto the vert hook. He matches the vert hook, how the vert hook should match a corner out. He plays perfect defense. He not only gets perfect defense, but he gets a well-deserved pick 6. Now up 10 scores, and at this point, this is when Noah really gets super uncomfortable. He does not want to be down 2 points. He is not a guy. He is a guy that if you can get him behind, you've basically won the game. So right here, he's going to go, I believe this is bunch trail. And right there, most people would go ahead and go for the pick. You can't go for the pick in this situation. Okay, go for the swap. Even if you think you pick it off, you can't pick it off because it's Madden 23. They're going to go ahead and just reach for it like they're trying to do a layup, and they're just going to whiff. So again, playing match quarters of a press style. When we play press, you can see how that guy goes man-to-man everywhere he goes. This guy's going to match post route. This quarter flat's going to stay on the tight end. And then right there, the only guy you really have to worry about is this drag route because he can sometimes get past that quarter flat. And the only person really you have to worry about mesh post is this post route. So this post route will get matched by this inside quarter late, but he'll be open right about here-ish. He'll get inside leverage. So you have to go ahead and essentially just bracket him off to be able to stop that. And you can see right there, the quarter flats I was talking about is going to be late most times to be able to stop that drag route, which realistically he shouldn't be. He should be right on that every single time. So again, checking a gun tight, we expect a quick snap. Oh, it's a quick snap. What the fluff kind of... Okay, I don't even know what that route combination was. He just quick snapped his running back on a wheel. Very interesting route combination. I don't agree with it. But again, going back into the rule full, because Noah clearly is struggling against his curve four quarters. Even though the score reflects otherwise, I don't think the score reflects his game properly. He can't beat Matt's defense very good, and so Bobby's giving him a headache. And I think it gives everybody a headache. Now, one thing he is doing in this situation. So you see this is a deep half. I believe this is a soft squat right here, backed off. It might be a soft squat, might be a claw flat, but it's definitely not a hard flat. Promise you it's not a hard flat. He's running a deep half. So this deep half is going to take away this fade route. This guy right here is going to be the only issue you have to worry about, which is going to be his user. Now, this leads us to another adjustment he's doing. This guy is manned up to running back. Remember last time this running back just ran straight vertically down the field? This guy's running a corner out, which is generally going to be guarded by a soft squat. This guy's going to be guarded by the deep half. This guy's going to be taken care of by that. And if it's a C route or a double move, you can check there. That's an outside third. If it's a C rout's counted for. Running back's counted for in a streak. Again, Glover Quinn is just going to be responsible for the tight end on that post route. So let's go ahead and play this out. You guys can see how he's going to go ahead and run this ball right there. Did he man him up? Looks like I swore he manned him up. Maybe he did. But if he manned up that running back, it would have been perfect defense and there would have been absolutely nothing open. So again, he's going to be running that same defense for the most part every single time. You can see how that soft spot is going to go ahead and match really, really wonky. This was just literally a quick snap, clear out off lane. No adjustments. One adjustment, I guess. Block your running back, snap the ball. That's not the right way to run clear out off lane. Again, no, I don't think he's super comfortable in bunch because you can just see he's struggling to beat match defense. I don't think he fully understands Washington bunch. He's more of a trip side end run player, okay? Go between every single run imaginable and just run the ball right there. Quick snap verticals. No rule of 4, but a quarter flat is not going to get out there quick enough to be able to guard the wheel route unless you're to take him and put him into a hard flat, which can lead you to some other issues as well, which we talk about the Madden Mastermind Discord server. Again, just quick snap verticals, verticals, and verticals, 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 verticals. And Megatrons are going to go ahead and fight and get him down to the 4-yard line. Now, he goes back into the rule of 4. He has numbers on that side of the field and plays very good defense in that situation to stop the RPO zone alert bubble. Now, in this situation, if he goes back to this bunch open tight end, you don't have to worry about flood. If you have an outside quarter there, the outside quarter is going to play pretty darn well. Now, we remember last time, still check. I think he stays in cover 4 quarters in this situation. Puts this guy in an outside third and a hard flat. We have to remember last time he had his running back on just a quick snap wheel route. We aren't really too worried about this tight end running this little inside wheel route or whatever you want to call this route because it's just not going to work too well, especially if the user's right here on one of these two guys. But we do have to pay attention to this running back wheel because this running back wheel, there is a soft spot right here for this running back wheel to get open. So he's going to go ahead and snap the ball. It's going to be double drags with a crosser or like a double drags with 2 crossers, something like that. It looked like a poster or something like that. Not entirely sure what that route combination was. It's a really interesting route combination. Essentially like I was running stick there last year with the 2 slants and flat routes. Very similar to that. So again, I'd assume these are probably 2 in routes or dig routes or post routes. I honestly have no idea. Looks like it might be a dig route, but right there, the power of high point passes. Literally nobody in the game can guard a high point pass. It don't matter if it's a user, it don't matter if it's Ed Reed, it don't matter if it's Randy Moss out of position. Everybody's going to get high pointed to death. There's no defense for high point passes this year, unfortunately. So right here, Glover Quinn's going to be on the opposite side of the running back, meaning his responsibility is going to be this guy right here. Now, because this is a pressed defense, motion this guy out. This guy's going to be playing man-to-man on him as well. If he did play the sticks. That's one thing we have to account for as well. Again, high point pass. There's no way to stop him. Like, I promise you, there's no way to stop him. But 47 seconds left to go. You can see the score. At this point, again, Noah is not a guy to be playing from behind. I don't know. I don't think this is Noah's team. Unless he changed his gamer tag. I believe he's using somebody else's team. So, again, going again to gun tight. He's going to check into cover 6 and make his adjustments on the back end. Again, predicting he's going to run the PA cross. You can see here's a play action. Meaning this tight end is going to be accounted for by this little inside third. And then the only thing you have to worry about, I believe it's this guy right here runs like a post corner route. I think it's one of these two guys runs a post corner route. I don't remember who it is. He actually runs a streak route. This is the most interesting route combination I've ever seen. But a freeform pass on this streak route, you can see the soft spot right here again because Ed Reed is responsible for the outside third portion of the field. You can see where his user immediately peels back to is the outside third to take away that freeform pass. You can see that was just phenomenal defense. The only way he's gonna be able to complete this is just checking it up. Again, you can see just how good that defense is. And at this point, Noah is gonna go ahead and quit. So this is the breakdown I have for you guys of Noah up next versus Bobby V. This was for the Ultimate Thanksgiving tournament for a $250,000 prize pool. Remember, prize pool, not individual winner gets 250 grand because EA Sports is in the game. But this is a breakdown of how Bobby goes ahead and defends the Washington playbook. It is hands down the hardest playbook to defend in the game. I would say more difficult than New England. With the New England tour, if you trips tight end and their gun bunch, yeah, this playbook gives everybody a headache. So if you guys want to learn how to play more defense, not always using match defense against the Washington bunch, but if you want to learn how to use match against the Washington bunch, become a member today for $9.95 per month. And if you want more one-on-one coaching with that every single month, it's going to be $39.95 per month for once a month coaching, as well as weekly live streams, a ton more for both $9.95 and the monthly coaching scheme as well. So as always, subscribe if you guys are new. We'll catch you guys in the Discord channel for those that are members. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave.